Hi, I want to talk about some problems that I have that are very weird, and I never try to bring on these problems because I never thought that such a situation would arise, but because of my name and because of a lot of history, like Iranian history or Islamic history, usually in the past, for example, the Prophet Muhammad, he was a spiritual teacher and a spiritual leader. He also unified all of Arabia, and he was the political figure too, and was very active socially, and he made laws or his practices lingers and endured. So later on, many Muslims or in different countries, they were active in many different fields. For example, if you look at my YouTube channel, you will see that right next to or under or sometimes over my name is that there is another teacher. His name is Sayyid Hassan Sadr. Well, the word Sayyid means he's like a direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad, and he's also a clergy. And his father, Sayyid Musa Sadr, was the spiritual teacher or the inspirer in Lebanon, and then also Hezbollah is built on his teachings and ideas. So he was like a spiritual and religious teacher, and also his son. But no matter how much I try to tell people, hey, I'm not him, and I am not a religious teacher. I'm not a politician. In fact, I have no intention whatsoever to be a politician in Iran or in the United States and influencing me or giving me shit or kicking me around will not change that because that's not where I want to go or where I have been trying to go. Well, actually, I think that I have a lot more in common with these university professors that some like are a physicist or a mathematician or a theologian, something like that, and he teaches a few years in the university, and also he or she might have some publications wrote about his or her theories on quantum physics. If you look at my videos, you see a lot of this stuff is very theoretical or stuff that has to do with new ideas or theories of where certain economic idea would be. Like, I'm more into socialism. So this is what I don't particularly uh, take sides on a religious basis. I do have affiliation, and it kind of shows up in my writings or in my uh, in my uh, uh, in my theories. But that's not where I want to go. I am not them. I'm not Sayyid Hassan Saad. I'm not a religious figure, and I probably will never be a politician. And there are a lot of very good reasons for that. Also, I don't hold any kind of religious title, any kind of. I have some readings on Islamic history. I have read the New Testament, and also I consider myself Iranian citizen. I'm a U.S. national because I've been here so long, and also the government granted me such a status. But I never wanted to be a U.S. citizen, and I have issue with the stuff the U.S. government does. Well, I do have family, and my son was born and raised here, so there I have relationship with this place, but I don't particularly think of myself as American. I'm not pushing that. Also, influencing me or giving me shit will not change anything, because I have never voted in the U.S. elections. I don't take sides. The only time that I might have influenced uh, influenced something in the U.S. politics was when my son, he does vote when he starts 16 or 17. He did vote, so he was asking me, and I told him who I thought would be better. But even now, I'm not taking sides. I do have some psychic predictions, and those are just what they are. They are psychic predictions. I don't impose my view on the population. I also very much resent people, you know, be very forcefully try to impress upon me their views, political views or religious views. Also, uh, I have no problems getting my ideas or my videos out. I've had no problems whatsoever. I'm on many formats. Recently I got on Patreon, which is a very nice platform. People can, if they wish, they can contribute to me, and I don't even there. I don't explicitly solicit for it. Also, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube. I have 300, I don't know, 28 videos. I have some writings, and even in the temple, I don't particularly wish to force these videos or ideas into the other other members, and also I would think that that was very disrespectful to the Sufi master to bring myself on and become some kind of competition. I want things the way they are. They have always been. Things that are important to me is that I get my art and my philosophies or my ideas out as a record. I also have a very unique look, and I have been in several movies. I was in Behind Enemy Lines, in a Grant's Life. That's another movie, and I also been in Color of Truth is Grey and the Book of Truth. Those are all feature films. I've been in a commercial and different shoots. I was trying to get into print modeling, but it didn't pan out. Anyhow, uh, other things that are important to me is uh, my relationship with women, and because my family life got very much disrupted because the U.S. government keeps the place in a state of war. And I am very happy now that I can reestablish relationship with family in Iran, because now I can see them through WhatsApp and other forms of communication. And also, I do study different investment like cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. There are very good reasons I do not want religious leadership or political, any kind of political, and there are very, very good reasons, and I will tell you some of them. My father, he was I think 56 when he died, from diabetes and heart problems, but he didn't even take care of anything. His My auntie, Aunt Nadre, she had diabetes like me, and she used insulin. At least she has some sense to know that they cannot fix this with herbs. But my mom tried with my dad very very much, and put the herbs in his food, and really went through all kinds of lengths to get him to take some kinds of medications and take care of himself. Anyhow, it didn't work out, but what I'm saying is that my body is pretty much the same kind of health and crap that my dad's was, except that I take two kinds of insulin, I exercise, God knows how many different kinds of herbal extracts I take. I think I have like 3 sets of 12 different liquid herbal extracts. One 12 or 13 different herbs, I use them to bring back the sexual functions, because this thing is just as good as dead. But when I take those, I'm like a 30-year-old. It works, and it doesn't make my heart race. Then I take about 12 or 13 different liquid extracts that help my internal organs. And then I take about 12 or 13 different herbal liquid extracts that helps brain functions, and also my father's branch of the family, when they get older, they're susceptible to all kinds of shit, Alzheimer. We don't. I don't think we have very good genes in that regard. We have some good qualities, but I think for a very long time, my dad's side of family, they had very crappy nutrition. Anyhow, so maybe if I do things right and I exercise and all this stuff, my lifespan, you know, the additional life after 56 might be like 10 years or 15 years. Well, my auntie Nader, she died at 70, which is much better than what my dad did. Uh, he died at 56. So she took insulin and stayed on for another 14 years. Well, I'm hoping that if I do things right and keep up with the health, well, I will come to live like what 80. Well, from 80 to 59 is 21 years or less, maybe like 15 years. Anyhow, this is not a lot of time. That's to do all this shit, or to become politician, or to become a religious figure. And also, the something that's really nasty is that like my mom or my dad are very psychic, very sensitive, and I do not want be managing people, telling them what the fuck to do. Usually most people, when they're confronted with me, they're just gonna rebel and say, I don't want that. I don't want any kind of management, and also it's very stressful. And there are certain types of people that I would just want to go a mile away as soon as I see them. So those departments, even though there is a lot of similarities, this guy is Hassan Sadr, he sounds just like Bani Sadr, the president, but that's not where I want to go, or will ever go. But the only thing that, besides putting out my art and my philosophy as videos or writing, is that I have been in some movies, and probably I just got one role or gig. Probably this will go on for some time. I might get into other feature films, and that's just fine. uh, you know, uh, even even there, when I'm becoming famous, I'm not having problems with with uh, with white male gays. They're stalking me, and I think their behavior towards me is very condescending and hostile because they were brought in a society. They think that, oh, we are the latest and the ultimate piece of shit. But when they confronted with reality that somebody else is foreign and he's successful, or he's in the major films, it just really pisses them off. Well, I could tell you a lot of stories, but I want to just talk about one incident. I have a lot of trouble with drivers. My car is really old crap, but I don't want to give it up for another few years, and because it's also very cheap. But when I drive, some people they recognize me. It's often certain kind of characters, and you would be surprised the stunts they pull out. One of the ones that they pull out more than anything else is coming with late model car and just swerve like within an inch ahead of my car, my older car. So this is so stupid, but they keep doing it, and you just I've learned to just slow down and let them just go because they recognize me and they want to just to impress me that, hey, you're nothing. I got this. Well, I had this going on in a different form with the Iranian. Well, actually, if you look at the video that I made, it was called Murche Dare dance, which is like a dance that the Iranians really like. I was in this place. If you look at the video, you see that when I'm taking the video, I'm kind of focusing on a girl. I was interested in her, and there is this guy comes right in front of the camera, and then he goes like this, does this with his hair, or look, I'm right in front of you. And she was really looking at me, not you. I got hair. But the Iranians, they do similar stuff too. Uh, that's they just constantly put me in my place. Okay, but it doesn't really matter because it will change nothing, and I do not want to engage anybody. I also don't want excessive social influence. Like be the president of lottery club and la la la. Those are it just brings on more problems and more stuff that I have to sit and figure out where I am in this social pecking order, which I don't care about. Anyhow, I just made this video to kind of let myself off the hook. I want, when I made the video with that I'm not a religious leader, things became a little bit more serene because a lot of people they just kind of figure out, hey, this he's not trying to construct a new Iranian government, or he could not be useful for us if we wanted to overthrow the Venezuelan government. He's just a guy. That's what I want. I want mostly to be left alone, and my videos, my ideas are not easy. They're research stuff. Okay, you need a very good IQ, and you need to be very well read. You need to have read quantum physics, many religious texts. It's not geared to most people. Most people will find it very difficult to grasp. I'm not interested in the whole society adopting these ideas. Also, they are not useful as like make a conference, make a lot of cash out of it. They're academic, intellectual pursuits, and they're simply put out because I want to preserve whatever research or ideas or art that I had for for posterity, something like that. Is not to construct any kind of company. Also, another thing is that I really do not like accepting donations, or because I'm not a church or institution, I do not want followers or people who are like affiliated with me. It just there has been many Sufi teachers. I think there was one in Laguna Beach, and he was very affluent. He was Indian. I forgot his name. He was very famous too, and the U.S. government got on his tail, and they actually kicked him out of the United States. They don't want undue influence, and they are themselves a criminal organization, so they don't really appreciate somebody telling them differently or telling the Americans differently. So this stuff is really, as much as I can, I want to make it very much an academic pursuit. It's very much devoid of the actual practices, spiritual practices. If you want to meditate, or you want to, you have to seek or find people who are in that way. I think one of the lady, her name is Soraya Behbahani, in the Sufi school. She teaches meditation. She's very good at it, and she also teaches some yoga. But my stuff is totally devoid of those things. I also totally don't accept donations. While I'm on Patreon, if some people, they're intellectuals, or they feel that they benefit from it, okay, there's a platform for that. But other than that, I don't want that. I do anticipate that I would be in future films or movies, and probably will make some money out of that. But other than that, on personal level, I don't have much financial problems and or demands. I've been a security guard for the last 25, 26 years. I still have a valid guard card, and I am right now on disability, but I will be going back to work on October. And when I was working, I always make good money, and this has been going on for a very long time. And also very conductive to research or reading and studying and all that stuff. Thank you very much for being in my YouTube channel, and please subscribe. Oh, one last thing. I am no angel. I like women, and I do appreciate my relationship with women, and this is where I want to improve on, or make a family and all that. These, 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 these areas that I told you, those are the important things. The other stuff with the politicians, they're not, I'm not pursuing them. Thank you very much.